When we were in the elevator, I was like, man, what happened? He was like, man, like, he gave me that look like, man, shut the and I was like, all right, because it was people in the elevator. So I was like, all right, all right. So when we got, out the elevator, I'm like, what's up? I'm like, why you tripping? He was like, man, nigga asked me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Puffy. We was calling Puffy back then, Puff. So, but we were instructed to only drink from certain liquor bottles. It's the girls' champagne, it's the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the guys' champagne, girls don't drink the boys' champagne. And all the champagne was laced with ketamine, like horse tranquilizer, ecstasy. That's not allegedly. We were all doped up. Yeah, the reason why he liked to take, we have a chakra in our anus, guys and girls, and your chakra is a pathway to your soul. So because he's working for Lucifer, his goal is to take souls to hell. So that's why straight men, he wanted to turn them gay. Even if a gay man was gay, he wanted to make him be a pedophile and be with a minor. His thing was to take the soul. No matter if you a celebrity or, that's why J-Lo left the country. He had her sticking bottles and stuff up in my homegirl. She was only 11 years old. And allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, she had a threesome with Diddy and his own mama / auntie. And she had a threesome with Nelly and Diddy. That's not alleged. Nope. And when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes. And there's multiple A-list celebrities running a train on me, including certain people that are presidential. Please, don't get mad. It's some of y'all's favorites. It's gonna kill y'all. It's gonna devastate y'all when you hear the names involved, because we all grew up on these people. We all love these people. We'd have never thought these people would have been involved in the things that they're involved in. We're just telling our truths, everybody, and it was 20 years ago. So please don't judge us or say we lying. We're being nice enough to let y'all know what's going on.
And just like Allie Carter, she has all the receipts.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
Y'all, I know I keep saying this, but I'm telling you, this is the one. This interview right here, this video right here is the one. I don't want to say that this interview is more groundbreaking or all the other words I've used, more powerful or more insightful than any of the Allie Carter videos, because Allie Carter, as we know, have done an incredible job of not only exposing these things, but in a credible way by way in which she goes into the details and talk about how these things are connected to not just these celebrities, but the politicians and to the state agencies and all these things. I mean, she's done an incredible job. God bless that woman. But this interview is different because this woman not only was a victim, allegedly, just like Allie Carter, but this woman was also a perpetrator. And she incriminated herself, in my opinion. I don't even think it's an opinion. I mean, she just flat out incriminated herself and implicated herself in this interview. And that made everything she said a lot more credible and believable, which, I mean, just use your discernment skills as you listen to this interview, because I don't think it'll be hard for you all to believe her. I mean, she comes off as extremely genuine. She's answering all the questions. She's going into the details. I mean, this woman talked about how she was a go-go dancer at these Diddy parties and how she knew, listen to this, she knew that the drinks were laced with horse tranquilizer and other drugs. Other girls that worked at the parties knew. Not only did they know, but they also drank the drinks knowing that they would be drugged. But what they did was Diddy would let them know certain bottles to drink out of and certain bottles not to drink out of, by way in which they would only have so much drugs, would be in certain drinks. Certain drinks that had a lot more drugs would be for other people, right? So that there would be this whole aura, which is very satanic. She'll talk about the reasons that it was satanic, the reason in which they did a lot of these things, but they wanted to be drugged so that they can have like this sort of disassociation from reality vibe that they had at these parties. She talked about Justin Bieber, and she talked about not only what Diddy did to Justin Bieber, but allegedly what his sons did as well. What Diddy's sons did and how Justin Bieber was crying. She talked about Diddy's mother, what Diddy has allegedly did with his mother on camera, and how Diddy's mother isn't actually his mother, but his auntie. I mean, she talked about Nelly, the rapper, the singer, whatever you refer to him as, Nelly, and his involvements with Diddy. And while talking about it, she apologized to Ashanti, who Nelly is now married to, which made that come off as a lot more genuine. She talked about Denzel Washington. If there's any truth to Denzel Washington being at these parties, which I think the answer to that question is going to shock a lot of y'all. It's going to shock a lot of you all. She even talked about presidents. Yeah, you heard me. Presidents that were at these parties and what they allegedly did to her on camera. Listen, this sounds all too good to be true, all too good to be believable. But once again, what I've done for you, which by the way, this interview is from the Lionel B Show. I want to make sure I give credit to the creator of this video. I will place the link to the full video in the comment section or the description. But I want to make sure I let you all know I am going to chop this. It's like a 40-minute long interview. I'm going to chop the video up into the most important parts of the interview that you all really want to hear about. I've already done all the work for you. And I'm going to link those parts of this video in the comment section or the description of the video as well. Right? As always, note if you're new to the show, please know we're thirsty to grow and to drink some of this water. If you like to help the show, I ask that you please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But don't worry, I'm going to give you a sec to do that to help me out. Just hit that like button. I really, really appreciate it. All right, so this first clip, we're going to see how this woman by the name, her name is Adria English. She's going to explain how she eventually met Diddy, which was through her boyfriend at the time, who was a model, and how he was affiliated to Cassie.
And a guy I was dating, Anthony Gallo, he's from Cali. We were both from Cali. He got an opportunity. He got scouted by a guy in LA who was a reputable agent, scouting agent. It was initially Wilhelmina Models. And so they gave him the opportunity to come to New York for an audition. When he went out there, he ended up getting a lot of callbacks. But he was back in LA. And they said, well, you know, you're getting all these callbacks, but if you're going to model for real, we need you out here. So he had never been on the East Coast either. So he was like, and at this time, my family had found out that I had did adult movies. Now, mind you, I had an ex-boyfriend, Jake Steed. He was my boyfriend at first, and he manipulated me into the adult film industry. I only did 8 movies in a 6-month period of my life in the year 1999, but those 8 movies in 6 months follow me to this day. And I signed a residual contract, and Jake Steve been collecting all the money. He done put me on Pornhub. I'm everywhere. And they said he hiding out in South America. He been collecting my money the last 20-some years. I'm the one that gave Ray J and Kim Kardashian the connect. If you look at the production team, you can see we have the same production team. You see mine was filmed first. Me, Ray J, Brandy, we all grew up in the same church, the Church of Christ. Brother Norwood, their father is my vocal coach. So that's how we already knew each other. But they got famous with theirs because Kim Kardashian had a little bigger of a name because of her dad. So when Anthony got scouted, we ended up, my family had found some member of our church, my church from 9 years old had found out I did adult movies. They brought it to the minister who brought it to my parents. And when I came home from work, I was working as a telemetry technician in the critical care unit at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. And when I came home from my shift, my parents had it on the big screen. Me with a it in my mouth.
No. Your parents had that on there?
The valedictorian, literally. The sheltered one from the suburbs who had never even had sex before in their knowledge. You know, the innocent one, their love child on the big screen with it. So when I shame my family like that.
What was that like walking into there and seeing that on the screen?
It was the worst day of my life. I still feel the memory, and it haunts me the same way Diddy haunts me to this day. I can still remember the way I felt, how my parents looked at me, you know, and then so when Anthony got the opportunity to move to New York, I was like, man, hell yeah, because I did the movies in 99, but they didn't find out until 2004. And that was the same time Anthony got asked to move to New York. So I said, man, I'm going with you. And then when we got out there, Anthony was going to go see whatever. He ended up getting an audition with Ford Models, and then Ford signed him. That was Cassie Ventura's same agency. And so we were from Cali, and we had an apartment in the middle of Manhattan. So all the models in between their go-sees and their auditions would come hang out at our apartment. And we had the weed, and that's when weed was hella illegal. So we was from Cali, we had the weed. Anthony looked good. I was working at Larry Flynt's Hustler Club, so I was already the hottest stripper because Manhattan is only 11 miles by 13 miles. I'm from Cali, the West Coast. all the East Coast people grew up together. They don't know me and Anthony like that, so they're intrigued. I look good, he look good. It's 20 years earlier. I'm 46 right now. I'll be 47 in January. So imagine me in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? Body was extra banging, and even now, everything's real, butt real, lips real, nose real. I've never had a million behind me, so just imagine that.
Notice that another thing I think that makes this video more credible is the way in which she's talking about it. In my opinion, I think she's kind of bragging about her lifestyle. I think a lot of us look at lifestyles like that as degrading and, an abomination to God and the way in which God has called us to live our life. But I think that makes this video even more credible because she's talking about her connection to Ray J and Kim Kardashian in a way almost like she wants all the credit. That things have went the way that they've went the past few years, all due to the Kim Kardashian effect, which has not been in a positive trajectory with our women in this society, in my opinion. So she's already shared how she met Diddy, how her and her boyfriend eventually met Diddy. Now she's going to talk about how it eventually led to them working and attending Diddy parties.
Anthony is signed to Ford Models. Cassie is coming over to our apartment, hanging out. We're all friends. We actually started.
Oh, you was hanging out with Cassie?
Yeah, she would come over our apartment too, because her and Anthony were both signed to Ford Models. We were convenient right there in the middle of the city. So in between your auditions, your casting, you would come smoke weed and hang out at the bomb couple from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We had the doorman building. We was popping, and so we all had our own private stories of because East Coast music was a soundtrack to our lives, from the West Coast. Like, we was fans of everybody. Mary J. Blige, Biggie, 112, Craig Mack, Mace, Black Rob, Young Money, Dirty Money, Diddy, everybody, Lil Kim, shout out to Lil Kim. I got to meet her with T-Pain. She was very nice to me. So when we got there, we all had our own, when me and Anthony got there, we had our own vision of what we would do if we ever met these certain people, Jay-Z, Diddy, and all that. And then Cassie did too. Her and Anthony were inspiring models. And Cassie wanted to sing and stuff. Anthony, he just more wanted to model, smoke weed, look good, get his dick sucked type shit. Cassie, she wanted to model, but she wanted to sing. She wanted to be an entertainer. And so we all had dreams to meet Diddy. So then, fast forward, Anthony ends up getting called to audition for Diddy for the Sean John campaign. So he never invites me along to his auditions or his go-sees, but this particular day he invited me because he knew I was a fan. Like, he knew I was going to be mad he went to the damn thing and you didn't take me, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to meet people and stuff. I was already a dancer. I was already moving and shaking. I already had a gang of athletes and whatever. But the music industry, because I rap and sing, that's where I wanted to get into. So, long story short, we sitting in the waiting room, and one of his homeboys that frequents our apartment comes out of the thing, and he's looking mad, like, shh. And so, low-key, me and Anthony laughing. We like, he must not have booked it. Like, he's salty. Like, we laughing to each other, like, And then they called him. And then when they called him, I'm like, yeah, you got this, my nigga. Like, I'm dapping on you. Got it. And then that's when two-way pages was out. So when they called, I flipped my two-way up. So I'm on my two-way lining up some money for later on. All of a sudden, I just hear, man, fuck that. And the door that flew up, and it was, I'm like, what? And Anthony is a very good-looking guy. His mother is, African-American black lady, and his father is an Italian man. And actually, the wine, Gallo wine, that's his family. And allegedly, his dad got, basically shunned from his family for choosing up on a black woman. And he went on to have a few kids, and all of them are boys, and they're all very good-looking guys. But his dad chose to be poor to follow his heart and be with a black woman. And so, allegedly, his dad still to this day rides a bike in Northern California. He's from Northern California. He had moved down to L.A. And so, even though he was a good-looking guy mixed with black and Italian, he wasn't no punk. Like, it wasn't no gay in him. It wasn't no, bitch in him. Like, he was like a thug, but he a pretty boy. So, like, I guess they underestimated him, thinking that because he was so good looking that he go that way. So he was more than offended. He was on some gangster shit. Like, he got me fucked up. So when we were in the elevator, I was like, what happened? He was like, man, he gave me that look like, man, shut the. And I was like, all right, because it was people in the elevator. So I was like, all right. So when we got, out the elevator, I'm like, what's up? I'm like, why you tripping? He was like, man, nigga asked me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Puffy. We was calling Puffy back then. Puff. And I said, no, he didn't. And it broke my heart, broke an arm. And I was like, nah. And he was like, he asked me to suck his dick. I was like, oh. I was like, well, then I see why, you know what I mean? For sure. Like, it's a wrap. That. He's like, I don't need that job that fucking bad. So I was like, for sure. You know what I mean? We got in the cab. We went back to our apartment. His homeboy ended up coming through. We smoked blunts. We laughed at it. We was like, that, you know what I mean?
Okay, so now that we have that information, which is absolutely crazy, let's now talk about this woman named Tamika Thomas. She shares this story about how this woman named Tamika Thomas, who apparently was a handler for Diddy, allegedly, and how Diddy would eventually find out that, Adria English found out about her past as an ex-porn star, an ex-exotic dancer or stripper, and how he used that against her.
That, you know what I mean? But then, because I was a dancer, I'm also in the regular go-go club scene, and I ran into Tamika Thomas, who ended up being, I call her a handler, one of Diddy's handlers, wranglers, and she approached me with opportunity to help me and Anthony out. If I would dance at Diddy's white parties, Anthony can go ahead and book the campaign. I agreed to dance at the white parties. Anthony booked the Sean John campaign. He was everywhere. He was on billboards, buses, bus stops, cabs, in the magazine, all at the same damn time. He was everywhere. But right now, if you go and try to Google any one picture of that Sean John campaign, Diddy done scrubbed it all. I can't even hardly find a picture.
Now, did Diddy remember him whenever he eventually got that gig? Was he like, oh yeah, I remember you?
Yeah, because when he booked it, after they had like a lounge party where it was like a celebration, like, hey, the new campaign, let's all, and it was a very small lounge, like only the models was there, the creative director, the photographer, Diddy, a couple other people, and that's it. And so he went over it. So it was kind of like, thank you for letting your girl work my parties, you know what I mean? You came out great, my nigga. He didn't say my nigga, he said, what did he say? You came out great, my guy. You're killing it, baby. You killing it. You know what I mean? So he basically tried to go over the fact that he had asked him to suck his, because he tried him and he didn't fall for it. So he felt stupid. He didn't know he was that thug.
So what was your reaction to that? I know both of you guys were upset, but were you thinking like, damn, ain't no Diddy was like this? Were you guys shocked when that happened?
Because I had been an ex, porn star, and I was currently an exotic dancer. For me, it was regular scheduled programming. Like, it's just what rich people with money do. Like, he tried it. He wanted to see, you know what I mean? To me, it was more funny, but Anthony took more offense. Like, no, he got me fucked up. So I had let it go. I was over it. When they asked me to work the parties, I was like, hell yeah, I would have did that shit damn near for free. You know what I mean? Just for the networking.
Now, this next part right here, I think is going to be the most impactful and powerful part of the interview, because, like I said at the very beginning of this video, I think this is the part, if you need any other confirmation, I think this is the confirmation or the verification that this woman is being very authentic, because what she's about to talk about now is very incriminating and implicating information that talks about how certain pretty much all the drinks or most of the drinks at these parties were laced, how she knew that the drinks were laced, and how they were instructed to drink out of certain bottles to avoid certain drugs in the drinks. Check it out.
I was a groupie at that point. And I didn't realize how pretty I was. I didn't realize they looked at me like that. And I extra didn't know that Diddy had gotten word of my former career in the adult entertainment industry that I was manipulated into by an ex-boyfriend that I only did for 6 months out of my life, that I wasn't trying. I didn't have aspirations to be a P star, none of that. I got manipulated into it so somebody could basically get my residuals and be basically caking off of me the last 20 plus years. I was very sheltered, naive. My parents were from LA, and so they raised me in the suburbs because they didn't want me to experience anything they saw growing up in the hood. And so when I went to Long Beach State and they put me in the co-ed dorms, to the left were the athletes and to the right were the girls who were stripping to get through school, because they were all from LA, Compton, and Long Beach. I'm from Chino, California, a little nerdy girl with valedictorian. So when they were stripping to get through college, I kicked it with them. And that's how I ended up with Jake Steed. And he saw the innocence and naiveness in me. He got me to do their movies. And then when Diddy found out about it, they used that against me, and then he viewed me as somebody that was sexually exploited, worthy, and yeah. And he played on my heart. It's called coercion of the heart. When I told him that I rap and I sang, and he said I was dope, and he said he was gonna bring me and I had a girl group out, like I'm the Beyonce of my group. They even told you that I was the dopest one, and it's called coercion of the heart. And he played on the fact that he knew I liked to rap, sing, and perform, and that's why he would bring me back year after year, saying you're getting closer, like initiation, you're getting closer. But it never happened. But he kept making me, sexually perform while he was wheeling and dealing, and getting jewelry from Jacob the jeweler, cutting a deal with this person, recording me and him over there so he can extort that person out of woo-woo. We all didn't know, but he had a plan the whole time, and that's why he made people sign NDAs that said you can't talk about what we went through until 20 years after I died. But I never signed that. Aubrey O'Day and all Danity Kane and them, they got hit with that. I was already out the game. I was done from 2004 to 2009. By the time he was running around with them, I was already, on the way out.
So if I understand correctly, so basically he had you setting up people, man. Some of his high profile people, he had you go over there so he can get video of certain...
No, he wouldn't say go over there so I can get video. He would hire me to work as a go-go dancer. They had 3 stages, positioned throughout his mansion. It was where he lived. It was his residence. It wasn't a club. It wasn't a lounge. And so it just makeshift stages, 3 stages set up in his house, like for us to be checkpoints. Like my stage was over by the bar. Tamiko's stage was over by the food. Old girl's checkpoint was over there by the rooms if you wanted to go do something. So it's like, I think he kind of told the guests, hey, if you want to drink, look for, just look for a stage and you're going to find something you need. You know what I mean? So we were elevated above the crowd. And so, but that we were instructed to only drink from certain liquor bottles. It's the girls' champagne, it's the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the boys' champagne. And all the champagne was laced with ketamine, like horse tranquilizer, ecstasy. That's not allegedly. We were all doped up. And to this day, I believe we all, and I know I do, have a chemical imbalance. Like whenever I drink anything, it could be 1 glass of wine, all of a sudden I'm a stripper, I'm a P-star, like on my mind, I just black out and I'm that. I'm She Diddy.
Oh, wow.
How Orlando Brown running around like I'm Puff. He not really act like it to everybody else. Everybody looking like he want attention, like he wilding, like. But it's something about when he drugged you that he stood over you, like infusing himself into you while you laid there unconscious, and it's like it became a part of you, because after a certain amount, they started calling me She Diddy. They're like, man, she act like Diddy. She just like Diddy, and hence I've been She Diddy for the last 20 years. So I feel Orlando when he be like, man, I'm Puff. It's nice to meet you, I'm Puff. Because when we get faded, like, it's like he come out in us, like, and that's forever. That's why it's haunting us to this day. Yeah, the reason why he like to take, we have a chakra in our anus, guys and girls, and your chakra is a pathway to your soul. So because he's working for Lucifer, his goal is to take souls to hell. So that's why straight men, he wanted to turn them gay. Even if a gay man was gay, he wanted to make him be a pedophile and be with a minor. His thing was to take the soul. So that's why after a certain amount of time, he would make an announcement like, you better go on home because, the party really about to crack now. And all of a sudden, everybody's demon would come out. And that's on God. Like, have you ever gotten, like, so faded or drunk where your body is doing stuff, but in the morning you have literally no recollection? Like, if it ain't from your homeboy showing you it, like, man, I recorded you, nigga. If it wasn't for him showing you, you would swear up and down you didn't do that shit. But then when he show you the video, you're like, what the? I jumped in the pool. I don't even know how to swim, my nigga. What? Like, I don't even remember that bitch. Like, what? It was like that.
A couple of videos ago, we talked about J-Lo, and it's no secret that J-Lo and Diddy used to date or be involved with each other. And obviously, we're not big fans of J-Lo for multiple reasons, from an artistry perspective, but also from a human perspective. She's just come off as a very not so good person on the outside looking in, right? Well, this next clip doesn't help J-Lo at all. In fact, Adria claims that J-Lo was involved with Diddy and minors.
Right,
don't
but he
remember
had
anything.
imagine everybody blacked out though. It doesn't matter if you a celebrity or that's why J-Lo left the country. He had her sticking bottles and stuff up in my homegirl. She was only 11 years old. She the girl that they put on the private jet. They her with the jelly beans. They put on the private jet. They took her to the studio in New York and then had the nerve to dress her up in a D&G sweater, do her hair, put makeup on her, and take a picture like a trophy. She only 11 years old in that picture, and that's not allegedly. And then the same girl,
J-Lo was messing around with.
man, there's so many. I drop names on the neck, man. We talking about Diddy right now, but it's yeah. And then that's the same girl that in the magazine is laying on the table butt naked with fruit and food and stuff off of her, and we all eating off of her. I sucked the strawberry off her. She 14 years old laying on that table. She had a body like a grown woman. You don't think anybody's looking at that thinking that's a kid laying there. You're assuming it's a grown woman. So he made everybody be with a minor, against your will, and he recording the shit.
But it gets crazier because here's the clip of her talking about Denzel Washington and his wife at a Diddy party and the disgusting reason in which that led to Denzel Washington leaving the party very upset.
Same girl needed to do a number 2 on stage. She performing. She told him, I need to go off stage. I need you to bathroom. He told her no. She ended up shit on stage. It was a went everywhere. And Denzel Washington grabbed up his wife, mobbed up to Diddy, and was like, man, you don't respect nobody. And had to run up out there. That's the incident they're talking about with Denzel Washington had to run up out of there.
So that's why Denzel and his wife left that party because of that
And
instance.
she shit on stage, and she was only 14 years. He didn't know she was 14. It was just the fact that she shit on stage and in front of everybody. And then Diddy took her to a room and beat her ass because she shit on stage. Then he would only give her water baths and not let her wash with soap. I'm gonna say allegedly because she's still Jane Doe right now. I'm gonna say allegedly. You know what I mean? It's allegedly. But she wants a DNA on 2 of his kids because they took 2 babies out of her. They kept her locked up and they had her babies at the house. The 2 babies they took out of her stomach. That's not allegedly.
Probably not the most disgusting part because we haven't got to the part about Diddy and his mom. But one of the most disgusting parts of the entire interview was when she talked about Kim Porter allegedly being taken out by Diddy. And the reason why it happened. And it's alleged because Diddy was apparently or allegedly involved with his own twin daughters. But nothing gets more graphic and more sad if this turns out to be true, which I hope it's not true. I truly hope that this is not true. But she even sends a direct message out to Justin Bieber from this interview and asking him to reach out to her if he wants to talk or wants her to connect him to the other girl. But she's alleging that Justin Bieber was raped by Diddy and his sons, strapped down, and apparently there was, I believe, another person present that could corroborate this story, and it was a female. And then there's the part about Diddy's mom. Oh my gosh. This is one of the most disgusting things, if true, I've ever heard in my life.
And allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, she had a threesome with Diddy and his own mama/auntie, and she had a threesome with Nelly and Diddy. That's not alleged.
No.
Allegedly. Sorry, Ashanti. I love you, Ashanti. Congratulations on the baby. I love y'all together. It was 20 years ago. Don't get mad at 20. We talking about 20 years ago. Don't get emotional. We just telling our truth, people. Please don't get mad. It's some of y'all's favorites. It's gonna kill y'all. It's gonna devastate y'all when you hear the names involved because we all grew up on these people. We all love these people. We'd have never thought these people would have been involved in the things that they're involved in. We're just telling our truths, everybody, and it was 20 years ago. So please don't judge us or say we lying. We're being nice enough to let y'all know what's going on from an insider point of view. If you were not even there, don't tell somebody they lying when you weren't even there. No, Diddy's mom is really his auntie, has been claiming to be his mom this whole time. She's the one with the white nails. That's why he has that fetish. She's been picking him since he was adolescent because his daddy got killed when he was a baby. As soon as he had adolescent, he resembled his dad. So she started picking him. She's the one that picked his head up initially. That's why, allegedly. I might be talking too much.
Nah, go ahead. Keep going. We loving this.
Yeah, but allegedly that's why he took Kim Porter out because he has sex with his daughters, allegedly. The twins. The whole family has sex. The same girl I was
Whoa.
telling you about, that Jane Doe, the 11 and 14-year-olds, the same girl he made strap Justin Bieber down, and she had to strap him down while Diddy and two of his sons took turns, and she had to sit there and watch, and Justin Bieber was crying and begging to be let up, and when she went to unloosen him, Diddy socked her in the face in front of Justin Bieber. So we trying to get with Justin because he would cooperate. Allegedly, Justin, get at me, Justin. We be confidential. We ain't got to tell the press, nobody. Holler at me, Justin. I'll put y'all together. She was there, you was there. I was already out of it. She told me that story, but Justin, I got you.
Damn.
One of the most creepiest videos that I've seen since this whole Diddy thing has taken place was the girl, I believe her name is Ava Combs. There's a video of Diddy and this little white girl on his Instagram live. And a lot of people have been asking, how did he get this girl? But they explained this on the live. Well, Adria English did a great job in his interview of making space for this young girl and asking the very important question of where is she? We haven't really heard much from her. Nobody's really asked about her. Where is this young girl? Did anything happen to her? Was anything happening to her before? I think it's a fair question.
Had a threesome with Diddy and Nelly. Yes, the same Jane Doe. This Jane Doe was around from 11 years old to about 15 years old. Had bore 2 kids. I'm not gonna say which one she believe are hers that he's been raising. You know what? On a side note, where is the white girl? Where's the white girl that he adopted?
I got asked about that today earlier in the
Where
interview.
is
I think
she?
her name is Ava Combs.
Where is she? They said, oh, the twins are staying
know.
with one of Kamora's friends, or Kim Porter, whoever. The son's been in New York and back and forth to LA. Where's the white girl that they was online bragging and proud that they saved her life and everything? Where is the white girl?
She done disappeared.
Ava. Where's
That's
Ava?
something.
I'm gonna call her the white girl. Shout out to my white people.
Exactly.
My mom's
Ava
half
Combs.
white. I love white people. I'm white. It's white in me. Where's Ava? Everybody, can we do a campaign? Everybody, hashtag where's Ava?
And of course, the president. She alleges that the feds have claimed that there are A-list celebrities on tape graping or taking advantage of this woman sexually while she's unconscious. And there are some very, as she put it, presidential people. I don't know if this means Trump. I don't know if this means Obama. I don't know if this means Biden. I don't know if this means Kamala Harris. I don't know if this means other people. I don't know. But she's alleging that there were other people of a presidential status that are allegedly on tape taking advantage of her.
And then I found out later, another reason why they put me in the Vibe magazine is so all the guys who wanted extras would know who to look for at the parties and to laugh at me because they took advantage of me after they drugged me and I was unconscious. The Fed said, well, allegedly, I'm not gonna say, someone said that when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes and there's multiple A-list celebrities running a train on me, including certain people that are presidential.
Presidential?
No, we're talking about Diddy. We're going to come back to that, LB. Stay with me. We don't go any further until we get the result.
Man.
Hey, but anyway, once I found that out, I've been living my life for the last 20 years not knowing that had even happened to me. And now because they found out that I know that I'm on them tapes with them doing that to me, these are people that have smiled in my face since then. I had no idea that. But if there's a certain way the tape is going to come out and there's a certain way that it never will. You got to stay tuned. I was like a fan and they played on it. I didn't realize how pretty I was. And they took advantage, and he likes to steal your light. He's an energy vampire. He steals your light. He takes a piece of you, and then he infuses the devil's seed in you from him, and puts a little evil from him into you that you can never take out of you. It's like soul ties. I want to be hypnotized, actually. I want to be hypnotized, and want y'all to tell me what I said and what I did while I was under. And that's what's going on within the Hollywood and the music industry, and that's why people are leaving the country and everything, because that's what they do is practice in satanic and demonic activity. That's why when they're blessed with the highest status, the most money, the best cars, the best food, the best everything, they choose to spend their time on a daily basis doing evil.
Y'all listen, let me tell you, even from her being told to wear the black dress and the reasons in which her finding out that she was in the Vibe magazine, all these things, I believe every single word that she said, man. I believe every single word that she said. She said that she has a lawsuit on the way. She has until December 11th to file it. She's taking her time. She doesn't come out because if I think this interview would have came off as a lot more unbelievable if she was trying to say, or it appeared as if she was trying to save face a lot more throughout the interview. She's admitting to her faults and her wrongs and how she was manipulated by people before she even met Diddy. She's putting all that out on the table. It appears to me. That's my opinion. But I don't know what you all think. What are you all thoughts about this video? Do you all believe her? Do you think it's suspicious about the timing? What are your thoughts, man? Hop in the comment section. Give me your thoughts. This is like the second coming of Allie Carter. I do believe that Allie Carter has inspired a lot of these people to come forward, but I also believe that from a policy perspective and the law perspective, being that people can actually file these civil suits now based on the new law that was passed, I believe, out of New York, that has also, of course, inspired a lot of people to come out. But I think Allie Carter has set the blueprint for a lot of folks to feel comfortable with exposing it, even if they're not getting money in return for doing so, right? Because a lot of this stuff is humiliating, as I can imagine. A lot of this stuff is embarrassing, and some of it can even be incriminating. And this woman put all of that on the table for this interview. So shout out to Adria English. Be safe. Watch your surroundings. God bless you. God bless, and I pray for all the victims. And I pray that all the predators and the people who are, complicit in the things that Diddy was doing, from celebrities, handlers, and all the people in between, like Allie Carter said, I believe are held accountable. Y'all up in the comment section, show some love, hit the like button. My name's Demetrius, but I go by Diddy. Until next time, man. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.